Hey, Destin, DeMarion here. Back to recap another tournament. This one is the Bassmaster Northern Open at Lake Champlain this summer, end of July 2014. This was an event I was really looking forward to. A couple of weeks prior to that, I almost won the tournament at the Rayovac at Champlain, and I felt like I was really dialed in after practice and during the tournament. Once I got back there, I realized things had really changed. I started off practice with my buddy Seth Fider, who actually did well in the tournament. We were fishing north the first day in Missisquoi, caught some good ones on a frog. Went down to tie the next day, caught him flipping, frogging a little bit. The bite had changed down at tie from what I remembered. I only got to fish down at tie 2 days during the tournament, the second and third day. But the fish were still in the grass, but some of them, the bigger ones, seemed to move to the inside edge. That's what I noticed from just people talking and the guy who was in the lead going into the last day. It usually happens when conditions change like that. I guess the fish move because of pressure, weather change. It did drop a lot. The temperature dropped a lot, and there was rock, riprap, and stuff held a lot of heat compared to maybe the grass. For whatever reason, the fish had changed, moved. The bite had gotten even tougher down at tie. I fished with my buddy Jeff Hippert, and during the week we fished up north, mostly targeting smallmouth. Did try to catch some largemouth, never really figured that out. We fished around Inland Sea, which is a popular area, Cary Bay, Rouse's Point, pretty much everywhere up north. And we never got anything really consistent. The day before I got there, he had said he had a really good day of practice. And that's kind of where he fished during the tournament and caught most of his fish. The second day of the tournament, he did real well. Lost a really good one, would have put him near the 20-pound mark. So we kind of got on a top water bite. Top water, fluke, that kind of stuff for smallmouth. There was still some shallow. We never could really locate them deep. We didn't really spend a ton of time doing that. But with the top water, we were able to get a lot of big bites, the 3 to 4 pound type bites. But the consistency of where they were and what they were doing, we didn't exactly figure that out completely. So I knew it was going to be tough. I didn't have anything really dialed in, and things had really changed. It got tougher. So during the tournament, I drew Jacob Wheeler the first day, which is really cool. FLW guy, young gun, won the FLW Cup. Real cool guy. He was very nice. I knew he was around some fish just by the talk of it, and I was looking forward to the day. I really thought it was going to give me a chance to do well and possibly make another run at it. We fished up north, mostly focusing on largemouth. We hit some smallmouth stuff, but never really caught anything worth mentioning. We're flipping jigs, frogging a little bit. All we could really catch was 1.5 to 2.5 pounders, which is really the problem. At Champlain, if you're not catching 3+ pounders, you're not going to be able to compete with other guys, especially down at tie where the size potential is so much greater. We did catch most of our fish frogging up in Missisquoi, but we never really could get a big bite. Like I said, we never got anything real big. We never even got one over 3 pounds. The biggest one we caught was a 299 Jacob caught because we were weighing fish. 299. We never even caught one over 3. So the first day he weighed in about 13. I weighed about 7 with 3 fish, and we both had a tough day. It was a struggle. There was a storm that blew in. It was just the weather patterns had been a little screwy for the summertime, and we just weren't able to figure it out. The second day, I drew Ben Nielsen. He's a guy from Michigan doing his first year of the Opens. Really nice guy. He's involved with the Detroit Ultimate Fishing Show, which is a trade show over the winter. Pretty big deal there too. I mean, it's one of the best in the country. So I was excited to have another chance. I knew I had to catch a really big bag, maybe 12 pounds. So 3-4 pounders is all I need, right? Well, it's not exactly that easy. So we started off the day fishing some smallmouth spots. That's where he had caught most of his big ones the first day. We never got bit on either of those smallmouth spots, so we focused on fishing largemouth in St. Albans Bay, which is actually is a really popular spot for largemouth. There was plenty of other guys there. We're flipping grass, deeper grass. I was throwing a jig, and he was throwing he was like throwing a big weight with a beaver, I think. And we managed to get a lot of bites out of the grass, but nothing real big. Maybe, I think we both caught one pushing 3 pounds, maybe, but that was it. I actually broke off a jig. I thought a pike bit it off, and ironically, at the end of the day, one of the fish we caught had the jig in his mouth. I didn't know at that time, but he called me, or actually texted me a couple days later with a picture of the jig, and he said, I was cleaning out my live wells and I saw this jig. Is this yours? And I was like, what are the chances? 1 in a million for sure. That's a fish story for sure. I'm looking forward to getting that jig back because it's an expensive jig, I'll tell you that. But nonetheless, we both had our limits pretty quickly. We went to another spot near Cary Bay. I managed to catch a 3 pound smallmouth that helped call one of my smaller largemouths, and he caught another one, but I don't think it helped him, maybe a little bit. We just fished for largemouths pretty much for that period of time until towards the end of the day we hit a smallmouth spot and kind of focused on that. Went a very long time without getting a bite, and then he jacked a good one, and then I caught a small one, and then he caught another small one, and that was the end of our action for the day. We headed in near the ramp and fished a couple spots around there, but never was able to make anything happen. I think he weighed 13 pounds, and I weighed maybe 8 pounds that day. 7.5 or 8 pounds with 3 fish. Clearly not enough at Champlain. You got to have those 3 to 4 pounders, especially if you're only going to have a 3 fish limit. You got to have 9 or 10 pounds to be very competitive there. Finished the tournament 73rd, very disappointing. My worst tournament of the year past Amistad, which was a debacle in itself. Shortened day, I had to drive my boater back to the ramp after he broke his ribs at Amistad, and just very tough conditions. Disappointed not to have another good tournament in the Northerns, because obviously I want to win the points every year. And I kind of put myself in a really tough situation. I'd pretty much have to win. Everyone else would have to do really bad in the next tournament. But hey, I'm going to go out and fish like every other day. I mean, that's how you got to do it. You got to take everything one step at a time and not get too fired up and not get too down, you know. But Champlain is an awesome fishery. I can't wait to get back there. I hope we get back there sometime next year. But I'm really looking forward to fishing there again. That was only the second time at the Rayovac I'd ever been there even. It's a really cool fishery, and I'm excited what the potential could be there. Hopefully next year I'm on my own boat fishing there, but we'll see. Thanks for watching, guys, and check back for more recaps and tips.